Hello, my name is Santos, and this is my book report for Authentic Christianity. I chose to read Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, and I really liked it. It was a really good read. At first, it was kind of hard to understand C.S. Lewis's really complicated language, but I really enjoyed it. So there's 4 books. Each one of them explains a different part of Christianity. The first book talks about the law of human nature. Lewis talks about how throughout time, society has all had similar moral codes or laws. He continues by saying this isn't a crazy coincidence, it's something created by an all-powerful being. Then the second book, which is titled What Christians Believe, starts with talking about rival conceptions of God. One of the groups he mentions is the pantheist, who believe that God is neither good nor evil. Then we have Christians, Muslims, and Jews, which believe God is good and desires humans to make the universe a better place. Christians believe in something called the ultimate evil, the devil or Satan. Lewis also speaks about the gift of free will, which is a gift from God, and they must decide between good and evil. Finally, at the end of part 2, he introduces Jesus Christ, the foundation of Christianity. Lewis says that there are many different forms of Christianity. However, they all agree on the basics of Jesus Christ, and they can all attain salvation. And then in book 3, titled Christian Behavior, Lewis talks about Christianity more in depth. The main point of this book is the different parts that morality consists of, which are harmony between people, harmony within a person, and then constant vigilance in achieving a state of salvation. Another main point he makes is a chapter titled The Great Sin, which is actually my favorite chapter, and I'll talk about that later in the video after this. Lewis argues of how people who are prideful place themselves above God, thinking that they're better than other Christians. And then in book 4, Lewis talks about the Holy Trinity. He uses the comparison of a die to demonstrate how there's 6 numbers, but it's one object. Another point Lewis makes is that when humans worship Christ, we become sons of God like Jesus. The last point Lewis makes is that a person must sacrifice their earthly desires to be a true Christian. Their reward will be finding Christ and rejoicing in heaven for eternity. And then finally, I'm going to give my insight on what I loved about the book. My first insight, like I said, was The Great Sin, that chapter. I really just liked it because it talked about pride. And I'll get really personal and I'll say, I kind of struggle with pride. Sometimes I'll think myself higher than others just because, I like to think of myself as a good Christian, even though I'm just the same as anybody else. I make mistakes and, but sometimes I let selfish pride get in my way. And he goes on to say, it's not bad to think you're a good Christian, but you shouldn't place yourselves above others, because if you place yourself above others, then you're placing yourself above God. Therefore, you're worshiping a false God. The second thing I liked and I really took away from the book is the chapter, Is Christianity Hard or Easy? The chapter was very black and white. I loved his metaphor of the wheat and the grass. If we really want to change, it has to happen deeper. It has to happen deep within us. Because if we keep cutting the grass, it's just going to keep growing back grass. We have to plant a seed deep inside of us, and we can't let the devil take that away. Thanks for listening, guys. I really enjoyed this book. I had a lot of fun reading it. I definitely recommend it. Thank you.